Welcome everybody to the Mike and Brad Show. I'm Brad.
And that makes me Mike.
Wow. We're back, episode 2, baby. Back by popular
How many
demand.
people thought we were going to quit? One and done. But before we get started, shout out to Brood Awakenings. As always, they let us use their beautiful conference room. And let's not forget big props to our producer, Tom.
Tom Batista. Someday you'll see what he looks like.
Yeah, say hello, Tom. We make him wear a paper bag, like he's like the unknown producer.
Picture a hairball with eyeballs.
Yes.
So shout out to Tom. Shout out to.
He's like a cute cousin.
Yes, he's an adorable cousin. We're going to jump right into last week.
Way too much to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about. Later, we're going to get into Beverly Hills Cop, Axel, which I'm very passionate. I have a lot of thoughts to share about that movie. Everyone's talking about it. But before that, I want to start with a taste test because last week we did Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A, and everybody was talking. We got the whole community of chicken lovers talking.
Has Popeyes or Chick-fil-A reached out to the Mike and Brad Show yet?
You're going to be shocked to hear this.
No way.
No, they haven't.
I was ready for almost like Sam Adams when they told you, look, move on, Brad, move on. I think that was along the lines they said, right?
I've known Mike for a long time. I've never seen him so excited in his life. For a split second, he thought maybe we're getting free chicken for life.
Something. You know, people camp out at new Chick-fil-A's and get chicken for life?
Yes, those people are called obese, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, so for the record, this is a total surprise to me. I have no idea what you're gonna offer a taste test, so I'm excited to see what you have come up with and to see if I would come up with something better. But
I told Mike Murray I'll take care of the taste test this week. It is the mother of all taste tests, and we are going to get into it. I want to see Mike Murray. For those of you who don't know, who may be new to the program, Mike Murray was born deaf. If you see, he has the implants here, and he always claims that the reason he's a little bit overweight is because his sense of taste is stronger than me. Like, you ever see Daredevil?
That's not,
the crime-fighting blind guy?
The taste testing is with alcohol. I hate alcohol.
What? Get out of here. So your taste buds are only maximized through alcohol and not the food?
Alcohol tastes like gasoline to anybody like yourself. Like you love alcohol. Gasoline. You love alcohol. It's like, so when you drink it, it's like, tastes like, oh my God, like a cheesecake. I taste it, it's gasoline.
Has to be cheesecake for you. That was the best analogy you had.
Well,
anyways, he's trying to backtrack, but he's always said, much like the superhero Daredevil, that his other senses are heightened
100%.
Because of his deafness. So we're going to put this to the test right now, because first I'm going to ask you, which is which?
I didn't know this was going to be a disability challenge.
We're going to make them run 2 hours.
Scores and scores of deaf people protesting this next. Oh, yes.
The mother of all taste tests, baby. Here we go.
Yeah, I can get on board with this.
The Pepsi Coke Challenge has made its way to the Mike and Brad Show.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'll be able to pick one of them out instantly because of my heightened sense of taste.
Well, that's what I would like to see. And I've done this before. It's been years. And I did know which one was which. And I did stick to my guns as far as which one I like better. But it's been a while. I'm not deaf, so maybe I won't be able to tell the difference. So if you notice, I got cans.
Dumb is not ruled out, by the way. Dumb is clearly not ruled out.
Is that a disability? If you notice, I got cans because to me, the best tasting soda is in a can.
What are you, nuts?
You don't think so?
Are you kidding?
Oh, you're thinking glass bottle because you're 100 years
bottles.
old. Yeah, well, I didn't grow up in the 40s, Mike. Nobody was drinking glass bottles when I came up as a kid. It was cans or the 2-liter bottles or the 20-ounce plastic bottles. And the plastic bottles, it's trash. It's so bad.
100%. But, however, the best tasting soda is from a really good fountain, a really good soda fountain. Like, so, I don't know if you noticed, Brad, but a lot of people think Coca-Cola tastes way better from McDonald's than anywhere else, and it's true. Here's why.
You know what those people are
So
called.
Tom knows this, right? Yeah, right? And there's a couple reasons why. One is because of the system that you use to put it, through the gases and all that stuff. But one of the main reasons, ready for this?
It's got grease in it.
Wider straw. So it's a wider straw. So the McDonald's uses a wider straw than any other fast food joint. So when you take that sip of Coke through their straw, you're getting more flavor, more soda in your mouth at the same time, therefore tricking your brain into thinking that it's way much better.
If you're going to clog your arteries, you want to do it as fast as possible. We don't have time to waste.
Yeah. I heard something different. I heard that they get it in the metal canisters still.
Yeah.
And it's a thicker
Instead of the
heard-
instead of the boxes.
instead of a bag. Instead
Yes,
of a box.
exactly.
They force them to continue.
But
to
it's in conjunction with the wide straw. I did say it was
All
two
right.
things.
I mean, how much fat shit are we going to talk about today? Can we just get to this? Tom's saying it
All right,
comes
so
in
I'm gonna
some
turn
magic
my back.
can. All right, you don't have to turn your back. You can just close your eyes. But here's what we're going to do, because this is all about you today, Mike. I'm going to take a disadvantage. I'm going to drink mine out of cups. But first, you're going to do yours out of the can. So let me just pour a little bit in the cups. And then I'm going to let you drink it right out of the can with your eyes closed. I'll mix them up, all right?
All right,
and then
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
shut
do
my
it
eyes
after.
right now?
Not yet. No, you don't have to do anything yet. You just talk to the people about how your week went. How did your week go?
My week, pretty good. Pretty good. I got a new grill. I got Blackstone griddle. Blackstone grill. Very hard. Very hard.
You
The
just
big
bought a
learning
pizza
curve.
oven
Tom-
not too long ago.
Yeah,
Now
Tom,
you
do you
bought
have a
grill?
Blackstone griddle? I know you do a lot of cooking. You cook out on your deck. I see. I go over there. You got campfires going on all the time. I went over there one time to his house just to pop in unannounced, and he had a full-on, like something was cooked. You know those like cannibals? They cook in the ground and it's buried.
Cannibals?
And so, yeah, like the people in the jungle.
Tom was eating people.
And
I wish I
said,
drove over
what's
that.
that? And it was totally something that was supposedly cooking out there for like 10 hours or something like that. And
Tom was smoking something, maybe?
he was doing, he was.
What do
was
you
doing
think-
something real weird.
What if humans taste wicked good? And like all this time we're criticizing the
I'd be in
cannibals,
trouble.
but it turns out
I'd be in trouble. I'd be like, my head would be on Dave Levesque's wall, like next to deer and oak. Elk,
Next-
elk, and like all
next
kinds of
week-
meat. And then there's Mike Murray's head, and then he just talks about how great that meal was forever.
next week me and Tom are gonna have you close your eyes and eat, like take a bite out of our arms, and that'll be the taste test. All right, so listen, here's what we're gonna do. I have my Coke in this cup. I put a red pen next to it, so I remember. I'm gonna do after, but first it's you. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you close your eyes,
I'm gonna close my
and I'm
eyes.
just gonna hand you a can.
And what?
And first you're just gonna tell me what you think it is,
Well,
and savor it
I
and all
gotta
that.
taste
Then I'll
it.
give you another can, but keep your eyes closed.
all right, and
all
then
right.
after I taste both, I'll tell you which ones they are.
Sure.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Ready?
Close your eyes. Here we go.
Let me know when they're there.
Round and round, round and round. All right, I'm gonna just hand you one.
There we go.
All right, here you go.
Okay, I don't want to.
He's gonna pour it all over himself.
Mike is a blind man.
He's
I
officially
can tell
having
which
a-
one this is just by reading the braille. All right, here we go.
All right. All right, savor it. Let all the flavor particles.
Give me the
That's
next
not a thing. All right, that's one.
Yep.
Here is two, sir. All right, 1 and 2. You just made a face like you drank
I'm gonna tell you.
poison.
Coke, Pepsi.
Which one's better?
See how fast
right.
I did that?
Super sensitive. He is the daredevil of here, and instead of fighting crime, he eats a ton. Just as good. Which one did you like better?
The Coke. I like
right.
the kick of the They got the kick with the fizz. Pepsi is known. It's a known fact. They have more sugar.
Right.
So you could taste that right away. You could taste the fizz and the sugar, and it's an easy taste test. I like the kick. I like the back kick of Coca-Cola. So however.
Uh-oh. Now he's going to start going into RC Cola?
Yeah, we're not going to get into politics, but if Pepsi's available, I get Pepsi.
All right.
Seriously.
All right, listen. Okay, yeah, let's not get into politics. so we don't alienate half our audience. Because
People
we
know
only
where
have two.
People know where I stand.
We only
by saying
have
that.
2 audience members, and we don't want to get rid of one of them by alienating half the audience.
Well, having said that, big shout out to John Allen.
Shout out to John Allen, our #1 fan, been supporting us from the beginning.
And even though he's our second fan, we'll count him as 10 or 11, Neil Perone.
Yes, I agreed.
Yeah.
If John and Neil stopped watching, we wouldn't do this. All right, so this is Coke. Here, I need you to keep track. All right,
Coke.
This is Coke. I had the red pen here, so I
you
can
could see
remember.
the fizz.
All right, so I'm gonna close my eyes. Hand me one and then the other. All right.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why I'm so nervous right now. See, I can taste coffee, so it's gonna screw up my palate. I think I know what this one is.
Can we time lapse this so that way like we can get right to the decisions?
Well, in the reel I will. That's why people only watch the reels. Oh, this is screwing with me now.
Yeah, see?
I thought I knew, but
Yeah.
this is what I get for having ears that work. If I was deaf, I would have this figured out. I really
You
thought
would
I had it figured out.
I did it in like second.
What the?
Plus your liver's probably saying like, where's the jack?
I thought this was Pepsi. I thought the first one you gave me was Pepsi.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
And what
Yeah,
are you trying to
I've
say?
always liked Coke better, but did I screw up?
Is that your final answer?
I guess, but it didn't. It was closer
So you
than
don't
I
know.
remembered. I liked this one. I thought this one was Coke.
You thought is that a definite
It was-
answer?
well, it was
You're saying,
closer-
I
it was
thought this
closer
was
than I
Coke.
thought it would
so
be.
which one was the Coke?
This one, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and I liked it better because Pepsi's a little too sweet. All right, we got to move on. Tom's producer's saying nobody wants to see us drink soda with our eyes closed anymore. Coke wins.
So which do you prefer?
Coke.
Coke.
Yeah, Coke.
And I was right,
Coke-
but I got nervous. I think that
Coke
mental
wins.
game.
So if it is a taste test, Coke definitely wins
and
the
we have
taste
both,
test. And,
for once in our lives, we have an agreement.
yeah.
For the first time ever, Mike and I agree on something. Moving on. Just real quick into the world of sports. Things are heating up in the WNBA. I'm just kidding. Nobody cares. But soccer, the Euro Cup, and speaking of not
It's
caring,
still
the
going
Euro
on.
Cup and the Copa America is still going on. We gave soccer a lot of shit last week, and a lot of my friends who play soccer were not happy about that. But I want to say, before we move on from soccer and never discuss it again, we did miss one complaint about the sport of soccer, which is easily the worst thing about that sport, is the flopping. Have you seen enough of it to see the flopping?
It's like as if every player in soccer is LeBron James. Right? Like it's amazing. I saw a meme this week, and it was a picture of a NASCAR driver standing next to, just like walking away from a car that was completely rolled over 20 times and up in flames. And he's just walking away like no big deal. And then a picture of like a soccer player laying on the ground because it said, because somebody pulled on his jersey.
And every injury, the reaction is the same. They fall back and they go hold their leg like this.
And then next thing you know,
and then
they're
they're
kicking
up,
a penalty.
like, ba, ba, ba,
And then they're kicking a penalty kick from 500 yards out. And they bend it like Beckham with the bad leg that they just broke.
It is literally the ultimate case of the boy who cried wolf, because when they actually get injured, you never really know. Until they're pulled out on a stretcher, I don't believe it.
Yeah, so now, like you talked last week about the red cards and getting disqualified, do they do the flopping that bad because they want a player to be knocked out of the game for permanently?
Probably, and because they're pansies. That's the other reason. I don't know. I just don't get why you're going to put that much hair gel in when you're playing a sport. I wanted to say it, but I was like, are we trying to keep the language clean on this show or no? I
That's
don't
not really a bad word.
Okay, pussies.
It's like
So they
shit.
are pussies. Did you notice I paused because I wanted to say pussies?
Yeah.
What's with all the hair gel? in soccer. I mean, dude, really? You're playing soccer. You don't need all the hair. Tom Brady always looked handsome as ever when he played football, but you know what? He had a helmet on. You couldn't see it. What's with all the hair gel in soccer? It's ridiculous.
Is it bad?
Yeah, dude, they look like they're going clubbing.
Yeah.
It's a sport, dude.
Yeah. Just,
Anyways, all right, soccer sucks. Enough about that. There was an old clip Mike and I used to do an old version of the show called Jeff's Paranormal Minute. Now, my brother, his name is Jeff, and even though he's a minister, he has a secret obsession with the paranormal world, and he'll be delighted to know that I recently discovered that there is a world-famous haunted clown motel in Nevada still open for business. So if you're wondering where to take your family on your next vacation...
The Clown Motel. And you just told me just before filming here at Paramount Studios that about this. So I right away YouTubed it, and it's in Nevada, but you got to fly into Vegas, and it's not. It's a 4-hour drive through the desert to get to this place, and it's considered, they say, the most haunted hotel in the world. Clown based on top of it. So,
Are you scared of clowns?
Huh? I'm not scared of clowns at all.
So you would just go there
I
and
don't
show.
believe in the whole ghost thing, but I did do a show at supposedly the most haunted hotel in America, and was owned by the Ghostbusters. I told you the story.
Wait,
about
Mike, you do realize the Ghostbusters
No, I
aren't
mean
real.
the Ghost Hunters. Ghost Hunters, Ghostbusters, same thing. Same thing.
Was Slimer there? State Puft Marshmallow? Man?
Well, anyways, it's in New Hampshire, and Tom Stewart booked the show because he's a ghost hunter.
Did you sleep over?
That was part of the gig. I got a free room and everything, and of course I'm not scared of ghosts. I don't believe they're.
And you slept like a
just like
baby,
you
I
say.
bet.
No, here's the problem. We're up there, and the place is creepy as shit. Like everything is creepy.
Were you scared?
And then so we had dinner, we did the show, but everybody all day long was ghost this, ghost that, ghost that, ghost that. So it starts weighing on me. And then at the end, and the hallways were super creepy. And they were doing hunts right outside my room, my hotel room. So they all had like these little entrapments that tell you that there's a spirit nearby. And they're outside my room going,
They're called
we got something, we got something, we got something. I'm like, yeah, it's Mike Murray. I'm trying to get some sleep in here. Move on to somebody else's room. And I ended up doing 5-hour energy, stayed up all night.
Because you were scared?
Because I'm not scared.
I can't tell, Tom, if Mike is one of these guys who pretends they're not scared, or he really just isn't scared, because I feel like it could go
You know
either
what
way with
scares me?
Mike.
My wife scares me. My wife scares me.
Oh, dude, my wife's
She's always
way
sneaking
scarier
up
than
on me.
clowns.
I was in the kitchen the other day trying to sneak a snack. And I'm looking through the cabinets for stuff, right? And I thought she was in bed. So I'm looking around and everything. And then after like 5 minutes of nothing, because she has no sweets in the house. And I turned around and she was right there. And I jumped and screamed.
What did she say?
And she just doesn't say nothing. She does this to me all the time. So just show up and be right there and scare the hell out of me. And then she laughs for like 3 hours.
So, Kathy, if you're watching, which, let's face it, you're probably not, next time you do that, please dress up like a clown. That would be awesome. To test the theory that Mike is not afraid of clowns.
Is that considered a hate crime because you probably can't hear her?
Yeah, she picks on her handicapped
Yeah, that's the thing. I have my ears off. So they walk up behind me and they stand there until the last possible second. I turn around and I jump,
Tom, you're right. That is a hate crime. Thank God he's not in a wheelchair. They'd be pushing him down the stairs.
My family's out to get me. They are. They love when I get hurt. My wife loves when I get hurt. She if I fall down, that's like the best day. And if I'm bleeding, that's like Disney. Disney. It's like getting to the front of the line at Space Mountain. That's the best day of her life if I'm bleeding.
This is why he's not scared of the clown motel. His own family is hurting him and making him bleed at home. He just wants to get to the clown motel so he can rest finally. And not have to be worried about being terrified.
Wakes up every night with his wife right here.
My grandmother, her house was super, super old. My grandmother lived to 101. Her house really scared me. I don't believe in ghosts, but I was very scared of that house. And one time, I was probably in my 30s, I went upstairs. I just kind of started poking around her house just to see. And there was 2 clown dolls upstairs.
She did?
Yeah, dead serious. This is, you can ask my brother. 2 clown dolls way in the corner in this closet upstairs in our house. And it was so creepy. And like, why does my grandmother have these two creepy clowns? So anyways, moving on. We got to move on. But
Yeah.
we covered the clowns.
Bad topic.
In traffic news, people often ask me, Brad, when are you and Mike going to cover the traffic? Recently, in Coventry.
Right now, apparently. After these messages.
Apparently, some lady on crack drove into a Dunkin' Donuts in Coventry this week. That's kind of exciting. I'm not saying it's okay, but I can relate to it a bit. I mean, when you need your coffee, you gotta do what you gotta do. You said you saw this on the news, right?
I did see it. It came across my feed and everything. The funny part about the car going through the building is your brother Jeff has been telling me that his daughter works at this smoothie shop in Coventry somewhere, and I could never place it. Never, like, he would always say, "Oh yeah, it's easy to find. It's right at this street over there. You know what's across the street?" I'm like, and I could just never, put it all together. So it comes across my feed, and I see this car smashed in the through the Dunkin' Donuts wall. But in the background was a smoothie shop. I said, "There it is."
There it is. Jeff hired that lady so you could finally find. America runs on Dunkin', everybody, but not us. We run on
Brewed
Awakenings. We will not advertise for Dunkin'. It was actually probably Dave, the owner of Brewed, that drove through the Dunkin' just to bring more business over here to Brewed.
Yes. We're in talks with Dunkin' and Honeydew, by the way, David.
Maybe that's a taste test for a future episode.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, not a bad idea. All right, look. There's plenty to talk about. I do want to jump into movies before I can't focus on anything else because it's been on my mind since July 3rd when Beverly Hills Cop Axel F came out. I grew up on Beverly Hills Cop. It's a huge part of my childhood, and throughout my life, it's one of those movies where if I'm flipping through and Beverly Hills Cop 1 or 2 is on TV, I'm watching it. It's like Rocky. If it's on, well, I guess that's what I'm doing for the next couple hours. I love those movies, 1 and 2, that is. 3 was absolute trash. Even Eddie Murphy hates 3. But last week was big news because a brand new Beverly Hills Cop came out 40 years after the original. And I was nervous, very nervous going into it. I had a lot of thoughts and feelings, but I was like, I'm going to try to watch this as objectively as I can, but I had my doubts. I have so much to say.
Childhood was banking on it.
Yeah, it really was. It's like when, remember Rocky Balboa came out, and it was years and years in between Rocky 5 and Rocky 6.
Like that.
And you're like,
any sequel is going to have you on edge that they're going to ruin it forever for you.
yeah.
And that's why I'm not a fan of sequels at all.
You've never liked a sequel?
Huh?
You've never liked a sequel? What about Terminator 2? Terminator 2 was great.
The only sequel that I liked was Horrible Bosses 2.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's great. How about Wayne's World 2? That's a great movie. You didn't like Wayne's World 2?
Let's get back onto the topic here.
All right. Sorry, I could talk about movies all day. So anyways, very nervous. I'll say right off the bat, it's not a bad movie. It's better than Beverly Hills Cop 3. Here is my problem with this movie. Did I laugh? No, not really. I giggled a couple times. When I watched those Beverly Hills Cop movies 1 and 2, I still laugh. Even though I've seen the same jokes 1,000 times, I still laugh. And here's my thing. I've been trying to figure out how to word this because Mike and I are comedians, okay? Eddie Murphy, arguably the most raw, talented, gifted comedian of all time, arguably. The dude was killing it at 19.
Number one
19.
Guy.
He literally just was funny right off the rip. 19. But, so I do feel, I'm aware that I am filming a show in a Brewed Awakenings no one's watching, and I can't compare myself to Eddie Murphy. Let me get that off the bat. I know who I am, okay? But I will say this. I think where Eddie Murphy went wrong is giving up doing stand-up comedy years ago. I think he's lost his edge. I don't think he's been funny for years and years and years. And I think it's not because he's not naturally gifted. He is naturally gifted. It's because he stopped doing stand-up. You gotta stay sharp. The reason Dave Chappelle is still funny all these years later is because he never stopped doing stand-up. And it breaks my heart as a fan of Eddie Murphy. I really think he would be the best comic of all time if he just stayed with it. The whole movie and anything I've seen him in, when he did SNL a couple years ago, I feel like he's holding back, like he's reserved. Like, I think they should have took Eddie Murphy before the filming of Axel F and loaded him up on cocaine. Like, I wanted to see him bouncing around, like in the other Beverly Hills Cop, where he's like, I'm a businessman, I gotta make business. The whole movie, he just seems like a chill dad at a soccer game with his kids. Like, he's holding back. I don't want him to hold back. Right off the bat, this is gonna upset Mike, but if you let me explain, it'll make sense.
I've been letting you explain for the last 5 minutes.
I know. I told you I had a lot to say, and I apologize. Everyone's already tuned out of the show by now. But I thought he should have gotten better shape. Now, do you? No. Here's why.
No. I'm
Here's why.
totally in agreement.
Oh,
all of them. But that's
so
the
here's
problem.
why.
I used to be ripped too.
Here's
my
why, though. Do you have to be in shape to be funny? No, clearly not. This guy's hilarious. My favorite stand-up comic ever is Patrice O'Neal. He literally died from being fat. That's not my point. My point is, if Eddie Murphy shows up energetic and in shape, it shows me he gives a shit. When Tom Cruise came back and did Maverick, he was ripped to shit. Does he have to fly a plane? No, but it shows me he's committed to the role. When Stallone comes back and does Balboa, he's ripped to shit because he's all in on this pot. So if I'm supposed to believe that Axel Foley all these years is obsessed with fighting crime, being on the street, he won't give up, he should be full of energy, fucking ripped and
the
ready
way they
to
were
go.
describing him is he should have still been that guy.
Like intense, but he's like this. What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
I was trying to think of like who he resembled, you know, as the shape he was in and the way he was acting. I was like,
it's called a dad bod.
It wasn't.
Like
it wasn't
at a
Axel
soccer
Foley.
game.
It was.
No.
It was like a guy who works at Best Buy.
Yes.
And it was taking forever to come to the aisle to help you.
That's
the feeling I got from him.
He's a likable guy at Best Buy, but is he cracking me up? No. This is what it was like. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F was like watching Michael Jordan on the Wizards. That's what it was like. You get to see him a little bit, in little glimpses of Jordan still there. Now, Beverly Hills Cop 3 was like Michael Jordan playing baseball. It was just complete trash and like unrelated. This was like glimpses, but not it. I never once felt like that character on my TV right now is Axel Foley. Did not think so. It was the Best Buy dad bod guy.
Now, here's my take on it. Now, you said you grew up on Beverly Hills
Yes.
Cop
Love
1 and 2, and I didn't even bother watching 3, but I did binge watch all 3 of them the other day. And the reason why I never watched them before is because when they came out, closed caption wasn't a thing. So I really couldn't enjoy them. So closed caption wasn't a thing then, and then closed caption didn't come out to the 90s, early 90s. But anyway, so I did binge watch it. It was fresh in my memory. And being a comedian and being like, you know what I mean, I like to see that stuff. We do see things differently.
We do.
I did point a couple things out to you that drove me absolutely crazy, which, when I say that, I mean funny. That stuff makes me laugh. And there was stuff like that. So with Sergey.
Serge, I knew you would love Serge. Like Mike's saying, he just watched all of them this week to prepare for this. Serge is still awesome, has always been. The scene with Serge at Beverly Hills Cop 1 is so funny.
It's the best.
He's funny. Eddie Murphy's hilarious in that scene. That scene's great.
No.
I liked all the side characters. I thought Taggart was perfect. Like, he's as screwed up as you would imagine he would be all these years later. I thought Rosewood was good. I wish she was in it a little bit more. I thought the side characters were really good, but you need Eddie Murphy to be Eddie Murphy, and he's not Eddie Murphy. He's a shadow of his
shell
former
of
self.
Eddie Murphy. And so I think we could both agree Beverly Hills Cop 1, best one all the time.
Yes.
Right?
I like 2 also, but yes.
Now, you've seen it thousands of times.
Thousands.
All right, so what kind of car did he drive in Beverly Hills Cop 1?
The blue car?
Yeah.
I forget what's that called? I forget.
It's a Nova, Chevy
Nova,
Nova.
yes.
But now, do you see the shape it was in?
Yes.
So what did I do as soon as I watched it? He drove from there, Detroit to Beverly Hills.
Is that what
it's
you-
2,300 miles. There's no way that car did a 5,000-mile round trip.
Mike's.
So
That's what Mike took out of the film.
That's the kind of stuff that goes through my head. What kind of car did he do in number 2?
Now, Mike, let me ask you this question. There's literally bullets whizzing by this guy's head. Nobody's getting hurt. Mike's like, there's no way that car doesn't break down. That's what you took out of it. The gun scene at the mansion, he totally buys the gun scene at the mansion.
It
But
gets
those
better.
bullets,
Second movie was pretty cool because some little things that some other people might not have noticed. Bridget Nielsen was in it.
she was great in it.
Yeah, Bridget Nielsen was great. Now, as you know, Bridget Nielsen was also married to Sylvester Stallone.
I'm aware.
And this was way before Tinder, way before anything like that.
Stallone's huge on Tinder.
You know how she scored Sylvester Stallone?
I don't know.
She's like from Pakistan or something like that. She sent a nude picture of herself in the mail, like licking the envelope. That's how long ago it was. And he ended up marrying her from the nude picture.
Ironically, that's how Mike met his wife. He
Yes,
sent
exactly.
her a nude picture of himself.
But a charcoal sketch of one. Anyways, shout out to Bill Simons. That's one of his jokes, right? So now, but here's the thing. Did you notice in that movie, Beverly Hills Cop 2, by the way, it was a Cutlass Supreme convertible. That was the second car, which absolutely beautiful, beautiful car, one of my dream cars. So Bridget Nielsen was married to Sylvester Stallone and was around the time that they were married or just got divorced. But when they went and with Judge Reinhold, is that how you say
Yep.
his name? I like him.
He's great.
I like him. I didn't like him in 3 because any
mean
cartel
4?
guy, they would have just shot him and killed him and worried about the SD card. Anyways, but do you notice when they went in his bedroom, there was a Rocky poster?
You know why?
No, there's a see, I noticed it, but
Yeah, I'm going
there's
to
a
teach you
reason
something
why.
right now. The reason there's so many Stallone references in the Beverly Hills Cop movies, there's posters, there's multiple
Yeah.
references to it
Yeah.
in those movies. Because Stallone was the original lead actor for Beverly Hills Cop.
Instead of Axel,
Yes,
instead
it
of Eddie Murphy?
Yes.
No
And
way.
it was good. If you ever seen the movie Cobra, Cobra is what Stallone ended up doing. That was the direction Stallone wanted to take it. It took a complete different turn when they went from Stallone to Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, comedy.
And boom. Well, the great thing as a fan of Stallone and Eddie Murphy, I got both. I got to see Cobra, which I love, and I got to see Beverly Hills Cop, which is one of my favorite movies ever. I do want to say this because I'm going to forget, and I think you'll agree with me. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but the greatest part of this movie was...
Wait, we're way beyond spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, we just laid out the whole plot for you. Spoiler alert, Eddie Murphy's fat.
Spoiler alert, his car breaks down in Nevada. He has to
Not
sleep
only
at the
he's
Cloud
fat, they're
Hotel.
all fat. Every one of them fat. It's just like an out of shape. It's like New Year's Day at Planet Fitness fat. That's how fat they were. They were all fat. It was just insane. But now, I want to say one thing
It's
before
like the
I forget.
Expendables, but instead of getting in shape, they all ate a ton. Wait, before, I'm going to forget, then you say your thing. You're going to agree with me on this.
Okay, got it.
Greatest part of the movie, Shooter McGavin showing up. Shooter McGavin, arguably the greatest movie villain of all time. Him showing up was absolutely
Did you
amazing.
wait? Was you waiting for him to go like this?
Yeah, Shooter.
Yeah, and he didn't, which made it kind of funny. Now, it's kind of why I'm pissed off about the movie. I understand movies are movies. My wife says when I pick a movie apart, it's a movie, she says. I said, but make it somewhat believable. Beverly Hills Cop 1, the only part that wasn't believable was the part where...
The car.
No, the very beginning where he just gets knocked out and they kill his friend there. Most mobsters kill all witnesses right there. They would have just shot him too. They shot the other guy twice.
He didn't want to commit a hate crime. That's
Anyways,
what it was.
But here's
very
ready?
socially conscious.
Wait. The helicopter scene in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F or whatever what they
I
call
like
it.
that scene. I like
They
that scene. It's fun.
stole a helicopter from the top of the police
That
department
was fun.
and went through the streets of Los Angeles, like on the street, like the helicopter. Not one decapitation. Nobody
sounds very
got
disappointed.
caught up in the blades.
He's so disappointed
They're
about
shooting at it and everything. And the scene, stop me if I'm lying, went on for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was good. I liked that scene.
All right, so A helicopter on the streets of LA, just total chaos. Like, everybody's shooting at it, they're pulling it, and not only that, they can hear each other from the car to the cockpit. They can hear, yeah, all right. But
It's very sensitive with the hearing.
I paused the movie and I looked at it. It was 35 minutes left in the movie. Not once in the next 35 minutes did anybody say, dude, you guys went down the street in a helicopter? That's crazy. Nobody brought it up again. It was probably, if that ever happened in real life, that's the only thing that's on the rest of the movie should have been like, did
Mike,
you guys
I don't know if you thought
did
you
you guys
were-
really take a helicopter down the streets of LA?
Mike thought he was watching Schindler's List. He's looking for historical accuracy. Do you realize it's Beverly Hills Cop? Just eat some popcorn and enjoy yourself, Mike. It's not a...
Just a straight up regular car chase would have been fine. And then they're not only that, they're fighting machine guns with six bullet revolvers.
Mike, my point in
Very
this movie
disappointing. Don't
was
waste
the
your time.
action good and was the comedy good? The action was good. The comedy is not. It wasn't good.
Yeah. I watched, and then
You wanted somebody to get decapitated?
the next
Yeah,
day,
but well, I just
say
like
what you
show
want.
something happening. Don't make it so
I watched Melissa McCarthy on identity theft the next day and laughed way more times than I did with Beverly Hills
It's
Cop.
sad to say, but that actually was a decent movie.
It was funny.
I'm not ashamed to say that was a decent movie.
There was a lot of good lines. She has good lines.
Now, if you're looking for realism, maybe I told Mike you should watch The Golden Child. Let me just tell you right now, it's not realistic. So if you can't enjoy it, don't bother. But it's a great movie, The
I
Golden
think
Child.
somebody should have said something about the helicopter.
I can't believe that's what this fucking guy took out of this. I'm like so like destroyed. Oh, back to my whole point.
It's like a Godzilla movie, and then, all right, Godzilla comes and he just crushes Johnson. Steps on Johnson Memorial Park, crushes it. Boom. 35 minutes left in the movie. Not a mention of Godzilla crushing Johnson. Not a mention. That's my problem.
I knew Mike was going to come out of it for some weird angle. I want to get back to my original point before we wrap up. My original point was, it kills me
That Eddie Murphy's
Murphy
fat.
stopped doing stand-up. That kills me. And on top of that, last night, to prepare for this, I listened to a recent, lengthy interview with Eddie Murphy. And they asked him, because if you remember, like 5 years ago, there was a lot of talk about him coming back
to the stage.
Here's what happened. The fucking pandemic, which ruined our lives, right when he was preparing to do it, and he was going to go all in, go out, hit the road, work on an act, and build an act for Netflix, the pandemic happened. Since then, he was like, this is the analogy he said in the interview, which broke my heart. He goes, if you're on the front line in war all these years, and then you finally moved up to general, do you want to go back and fight on the front line? He goes, I don't want to. But that's the bullshit, man. That's why Tom Brady was so awesome, because Tom Brady
a true stand-up
kept
would
getting
never
up.
make that comment.
Yeah,
A true
Tom
stand-up
Brady
would never make that comment.
kept getting up
Look at
and going
Seinfeld.
to
Ryan
work.
Seinfeld was a multi-billionaire and still
He's still
retired
doing it.
his set and
And
went
he's still
out
doing
there
it.
and ate it.
He's still doing it. Yes,
He's
there's a good footage in a documentary with Seinfeld when he returns to stand-up. He's bombing at first, and Seinfeld, in my opinion, is not as good of a stand-up as Eddie Murphy.
No.
He's just not as funny of a guy he is.
And that was the other thing. What they did good. And first and second one, the opening scenes when he's acting like he's lying and he's doing his character because he's in undercover. So the first one was with the cigarettes. The second one was with
great.
with the credit.
I love
Great.
those scenes.
Awesome. And the third one, it was like there was no oomph.
Nothing.
There was nothing.
Nothing.
Like you said, he wasn't passionate.
He half-asses it.
He mailed it in.
He mailed it.
Nailed it. It felt like ensemble movie. It felt like couples retreat, like all these famous people coming together for a movie, all for the sake of the box office.
Yeah. Do you agree with me that if Eddie Murphy, when he talked about it 5 years ago, if he had gone all into stand-up
It would have
again,
been way better.
wouldn't this movie have
if
been
he
awesome?
had 5 years doing stand-up,
This movie would have been awesome.
it would have been awesome because, he would have brought that energy to the screen because that's what the energy he had when he was doing the first
Yes.
one. And I agree, all early Eddie Murphy stuff was amazing.
Amazing. And again, to reiterate, to close, we realize that we're not better than Eddie Murphy. All right?
No, we never
Before
claim,
people-
we never claim to be. And
You know the
in
comments are
credits-
gonna say-
In the credits, it's gonna say, not really Eddie Murphy.
You know in the comments, someone's going to be like, who the hell are these two clowns to disrespect Eddie Murphy?
Oh, you know that's gonna happen. Here, these two guys in a coffee shop making no money are telling us that Eddie Murphy's. No, we're not saying he sucks. We're saying the movie sucks because we feel, and it's our opinion, that he kind of mailed it in.
He mailed it in. All right, look, we went way too long. I knew this was going to happen with Axel F. We had too much. Too much. So we got to go. This has been the show. 90% of it was about Eddie Murphy, but I knew that was going to be the case. We learned one thing: Coke is better than Pepsi. Mike, any closing thoughts before we take off?
Just want to say I'm glad we're back, and I'm glad you're back to watch it. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you have any suggestions, reach out to us for a segment.
Yeah, topics.
Any type of taste test or challenge. Let us know, and it doesn't have to be here. It could be on site somewhere, like where we go in, and I got some ideas for a taste test next week. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll do a Burger King cheeseburger and a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Sounds great. So subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. Thank you, guys.